You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 35. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, and my sparring partner is Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, we're doing it live.
We are doing this thing live. Guys, I can't believe, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. The Smash hype train is going strong. But before we get into it, if you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Ready Player One or Super Mario How Nintendo Conquered America. That's audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPSeat. You go to n64josh.com/OPSeat. You automatically save $10 at checkout. Check out these chairs. They're awesome. That's n64josh.com/OPSeat. Lastly, I have a Patreon if you want to get yourself an extra podcast for just $1 a month. Go to patreon.com/n64josh. With that, we're going to, before we get to the countdown, we have an announcement. We are going to be doing a Smash Bros. Tournament on Saturday. This coming, not tomorrow, but the 17th. So you'll have to take a break from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee to come play a tournament. We're doing Wii U and 3DS, and the winner gets a copy of Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch, for each, So I mean, I guess technically you could play both of them if you really wanted to try to win 2 copies. And there might even be a second place prize, but we're still just kind of work out these details as we go. No big deal. But
we'll just send you a copy of the game, but not the case, because Josh wants to keep the case. That's what it's going to be.
Exactly. I don't have the case yet. I need the original case. So that's going to be November 17th, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Be in the Discord for all of the information. n64josh.com/Discord. Okay, that's going to be the best place. That's how we'll have the signups in there. Everything will be there. So be in the Discord. Come do the tournament with us. It's going to be a good time. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be digital copies of the game too. Just throwing that out there. That's just the easiest in case somebody wins outside of the States, that kind of stuff. We'll just make sure it's digital. So there you go. With that, we can get to the countdown to Smash.
Alrighty. Today is... What is today? Today is 11...
9.
Did I write it down? 9. Did I write that down wrong?
Yes, you put the 4th.
11/9. We because I was getting excited and I put 4 weeks to Smash. We are 4 weeks away. 3 more shows after this without Smash, and on the 5th show, we will. No, is that right? Next week is. I know I'm dragging this out a little bit here now. So next week is 9/16. 9/23 is Black Friday is 9/23, and then so 30th, 3 more shows, and then the 5th show or 4th show we'll have to take a break. You and I are going to be exhausted probably. We're going to take a break, and we'll come to you live.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be unreal. Like the hype is going to be real. I can't wait for that show. Like
I think we'll have a little mini competition who has more characters unlocked.
Kirby Geek wants to know if anybody on this show can do math. No.
Math is hard, man. $126 or whatever for 2 NES controllers. It's difficult stuff out there. You never know.
Crawlers like Chicken Little. All right. So, jumping into the Smash news. So, we've been seeing footage come out of Spain. There's been some other footage from some other locations, and people are beginning to build tier lists. We're getting to see some of the moves from different characters, things like that. So, we just kind of grabbed a couple of highlights from things that we've seen over the last week, and one of those things is DDD is going to be able to inhale and spit all projectiles. So, that's kind of new. A little bit different. It's almost like he has a cape now, right?
Sure. So, and I also saw something with DDD earlier this week. I feel like his grab to up throw to up tilt, I think, was a crazy confirm at like 57%. I think I don't remember what the exact numbers were, but it was something fairly broken. But I saw it happening on Delfino Plaza as well, so it was super low ceiling and all sorts of craziness going on. But yeah, so I feel like heavyweights are going to be strong in Ultimate just because everyone's move speed is faster. but we have all these new moves coming out. I saw something I think yesterday with King K. Rool's back air is him coming like over his head to punch, and it's a spike. So it's something. It's going to be crazy.
I love it. So here's the question, and I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. But what you just said was that it's kind of broken. Do you really feel that way? Do you feel that if he has a kill confirm at 56, being a heavyweight, that is broken? Knowing that, and is that in 1v1 play, or was that in?
I think it was with multiple characters on the screen. So but I mean, heavyweights in general, with any game, like, and this is kind of why I wish we had a Smash test coming. With any game, when you put it in the hands of the millions of people that are going to play it, you can analyze that much more data that much faster than what you get in internal testing. So, I mean, I'm hoping that they've looked at a lot of the information from Big House and the Best Buy events and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if all those systems have been hooked up to an online network to convey that information back to the mothership for them to analyze, but I'm hoping that this game is too massive to not have a day one patch, because I think you've downloaded the game, you preloaded it, right? And I think it was only 13 something gigs.
Yep.
And if my memory serves me correctly, I think that there was something saying 16 gigs was the game. So there might be as big of maybe a 3 gig download on day one, and that could potentially have some balance patches as well. So take with a grain of salt all these tier lists that you're seeing come out, because it is a build. It's obviously it's a more complete build than what we've seen at E3 and the Best Buy events that we've been seeing lately. But I still feel like there is balance changes coming. I mean, Smash for Wii U had, I think, 17 balance patches. This game, I think, could be patched fairly often, but we'll see.
This is really what's kind of got me curious, because anytime a game goes out and the developers think, oh, we have crossed all of our T's and dotted all of our I's, unless they're Bethesda, they know that will never happen. There's not enough.
or Rockstar. I think Rockstar can't do that either.
Yeah, which, I mean, you can't blame them for that. They make these massive games, right? All I ever think about is Malcolm from Jurassic Park saying life will find a way, right? It's like this game goes out into the wild and there's going to be I mean, it's, obviously they had no clue in Mario Tennis Aces that Bowser Jr. was as broken as he was. It wasn't until you see everyone use it, the data starts to come in, and then, okay, we got to get a nerf going. So,
yeah, and I commend Nintendo for how quickly they responded to that as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was within, I think that was within 2 or 3 weeks of the game coming out. They got a balance out for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
This game, I mean, obviously with what's the roster? It's, if you don't count Pokemon Trainer as individual characters, I think we're at 72.
Something, I think as high as 75 if you do, because he's 3. I don't know. I can't remember the exact
So
number,
72, 73, and then we're going to add one more with Piranha Plant. But that's a lot of balance with priority and with. But I'm hoping if we're having these problems that we've kind of been seeing with the heavyweights, if that's what the true problem is, maybe because of their speed and because of their rage and because of their guaranteed, like their true combos, then maybe we see some of that toned down with end move lag, or just to kind of reduce those true combos possibly. But so maybe it could be self-contained within a character, not having to balance it against the entire roster, because I feel like trying to balance against the entire roster when you start messing with priority or something like that, and hopefully that's pretty well established.
I think it's going to be in a good place, but like Mr. Cool Red Luigi saying, this game is going to have a ton of patches. I'm in complete agreement. Like it's got a long road ahead of it, and that's going to be, we're going to actually, in our talking points, we're going to talk about picking a main, and this is going to be a factor in this. So we'll dig into it a little bit more. Moving through the news, there is going to be holiday Smash events coming to a town near you. So we have a handful of areas. I'm going to just read them off real quick. We do have a link in the show notes, n64josh.com/SBC35. So you can check them out. It's also on smashbros.com, smashbros.nintendo.com if you want to be able to check it out. But Glendale, Arizona, Torrance, California, Santa Clara, California, Orlando, Florida, Buford, Georgia, Schaumburg, I guess, Illinois, Bloomington, Minnesota, Elmhurst, New York, King of Prussia? What is this place? Pennsylvania, Houston, Texas, and Tyson
It's in
Center.
Pennsylvania, so who knows?
Yeah, crazy. So there you go. Those are the locations that.
And so so these events, it looks like they all start tomorrow, November 10th, and run through the 16th. So it'll be running until after. I mean, what is that? 9 days after the game comes out. So it'll continue. But the hours are going to be Monday through Thursday, 4 to 9 p.m. Fridays will be 3 to 9 p.m. Saturday will be 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And Sunday will be 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this, from what I believe it is, this will be the build that we've been seeing all these tier lists and information coming out from. So it'll be presumably the whole roster unlocked already, is what I'm assuming. And it looks like these these events are also going to have stuff with Pokemon Let's Go and Mario Party.
Yeah, Super Mario Party. Yep. So
they're just trying to sell. They're trying to sell parents on. This, I think, it's mainly at malls, and it's going to be sell parents on getting a Switch and check out these games that are coming out or are out.
Yeah.
So good times.
Yeah, there you go. So we do have the link if you want to see the times and locations. Again, you can check that out in the show notes there. So guys, this is kind of exciting. Zero's coming out of retirement. He has signed with a new team, and he did a video talking about his win streak and everything. I think it was.
I saw. I think you posted this in the. Was it to me or was it in the Smash Bros?
I don't remember
chat.
If it was in if I just retweeted it or what. But
yeah,
Nairo is doing a reaction video, and he's the one that beat Zero, that broke the
56 game winning streak.
Broke the winning streak. And Zero's like, I had an off day. And Nairo's like,
you hear him just slam on the spacebar to pause the video. He's like, I think the video you showed me just cut out as he was about to just lay into a tirade, but he's like, an off day? An off day? It just gets all crazy. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. We'll try to find a link to get it in these notes, but man, that was so funny. So funny. So good. It's really awesome to see that he's going to be coming back. He has a video. We have a link to it here about his top character in Smash. And who does he have that character as right now?
Right now it's looking like Pikachu, and I think that's been on a lot of people's lists as being top tier. So he's an original 8 character that you can start with. So it's something I think everyone can give a try and see how they feel and move forward from there.
Yeah. I think Esam has put out a video as well with similar content. So, and again, we're gonna dig into this a little bit more before everybody jumps to Pikachu. We'll talk about it. But Zero's got some great content on YouTube for Ultimate, so make sure to check that out. There is now a commercial for Smash Bros, kind of like the holiday commercial, and we wanted to kind of break it down a little bit. And so if you guys have seen the commercial, right at the beginning of it, you see a Mario and a Pikachu, and Mario spikes Pikachu, and it's the slow-mo kill confirm that we've come to the conclusion you can only get in a stock battle for the final stock, right? Because in timed it wouldn't make any sense because that just keeps going. Maybe sudden death, it might end up having that same effect. What we're kind of trying to figure out here is if that slow motion animation pops up, is that automatically a kill confirm? Right? Does the game know? And I'm not talking like if it was because with the spike, depending on the character's percentage, they might be able to recover. But I'm thinking if it's a high enough percent that automatic that kicks in that animation, and it's game over. You're not coming back. I don't know. What do you think, Robert? Yeah. Chat, we want to hear from you on this too.
Okay, chat. Some people in chat might remember better than what you and I did when we were talking about this. So I don't remember if it was in because the E3 Invitational had, I believe they had some timed event. Maybe they had some timed events, and then some of them were stock 2v2 and 1v1s and free for alls, all that kind of stuff. So they had a lot of different matches going. So trying to determine which one was which. But I do remember some of those slow motion zoom the camera in on that interaction being in the game, but it didn't always necessarily result in a kill. I don't know if that is something that's been tweaked or if that's something that we just noticed more from this trailer because they want to highlight the spikes and the final kills and all that kind of stuff. But I believe it's I from my experience playing the game, I played 6 total matches at my Best Buy event. I think you played a total of 4. Is that correct? 4 or 6?
Yeah.
Over the course of PAX and your Best Buy event.
Mm-hmm.
But I've encountered the final smashes that interrupt the game, but I don't remember any of these slow motion of just a smash attack kind of camera's angle. So I don't know if it's something that maybe has been taken out, tweaked, or changed. I don't remember.
We played time events.
Well, we played timed events. Yeah, yes. Now that I'm thinking. Yeah.
So we played timed events, so I don't think we would have seen it. Here's the thing. The lightning, right, that comes out when you have landed what could be a kill if they don't DI correctly. Is the game going to hit that slow-mo? Like let's say I do an up smash, right? And you're able to DI out of it even though you're at a high percent and you get the lightning. That's a rare thing, but it does happen, right? Or if it's a forward smash and it's across the stage, right? And you're able
I have a chance to come back.
You have a chance to do so. I'm just curious if just like in Smash 4 right now, where you see the lightning, but sometimes it's not a kill confirm. Like sometimes it's not a kill. Will that still happen? Because that would really throw off the game. Like I hope the game can just recognize at that point, like.
I mean, the community has come to know straight confirms even without DI. Like even with all the DI in the world, there are straight confirms from certain percentages.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure Sakurai and his team know the kill confirms from cross stage or not, from where the zeros and ones say that you are standing and they are standing, and the amount of damage you hit. I think the program written in the code could probably understand what is a kill confirm and what's not, and initiate that camera. But it also initiates from the second you put that forward smash in for that spike or for that cross smash. I mean, because it slows the camera down to actually watch Mario swing his fist, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, full on.
Yeah, so I mean it's quick.
If it's not a confirm every time, it will throw off the game, because what if if you're the one that pulls that move off, it goes slow-mo, you're like, oh, I'm done, right? But then that person recovers from it. It just seems like it would throw off the overall flow,
we'll learn very quickly first weekend, I guess, if you should put your controller down or not.
The thing that I'm thinking is, and chat's saying like there were some E3 videos that showed that animation that didn't lead to KOs. I don't know if it's because of the commercial, because they're trying to highlight that, but it looked like it was a longer animation than when you saw like Zero and Leffen going at it with Mario and Inkling, and when he upbeat him for the kill, you know, I need to just watch it again to really see. But my gut feeling is that's not going to trigger if you're at like 24% and I spike you and you're down just far enough that you can still hit your jump and then you're up B, but it's not enough to grab the stage. I don't think we're going to see that animation kick in. No. I think if you're at like, 50 or 60 and I spike you, I think that's when
you're hitting blast zone.
Yeah. That animation's going to kick in at that point. So that's kind of, but it's just a little curious, like, because we see the lightning right now in 4 and it's not always a kill.
Yeah, but then there's also the other things like a KO punch from Little Mac to Corrin's counter at 40%. It will be a kill confirm. So would a counter initiate that slow-mo? I
think it would if it's the final stock.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I love that it's there.
I mean, it's cinematic. It's cinematic.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's highlighting the game. It's the art of the kill.
I had to check my heart rate when I saw Mario spike Pikachu in that commercial. I was like, "Whoa, am I okay? Like, this is glorious." So, but yeah, so that was interesting. We also got to see the different ways people were playing: Pro Controller, Joy-Con grip, and single Joy-Con.
Yep.
So, it can like
no surprise. I mean, I think we were all anticipating those options, especially with 8-man Smash being, we all aren't Daddy Warbucks with our 8 Pro controllers like Nintendo was in their treehouse.
Yeah. That's just a small price to pay to be able to do 8-man Smash with Pro controllers. Yikes.
I mean, I have enough Joy-Cons to do. Yeah, I mean, with my Pro controllers and GameCube controllers and all that kind of stuff, I have enough controllers to play almost probably 10-man Smash, but it'll be good.
Yeah, prepare for hand cramps if you're playing with single Joy-Con. Plumber, I'm looking at you.
Give it to the kids.
So, how to taunt with a Joy-Con? You may not be able to.
Shake it. I don't know.
Yeah, right. So, let's see here.
Because wasn't it with the Wiimote had it had a D-pad though. I'm wondering if you can, because you can probably play. I'm wondering if you'll be able to configure 2 Joy-Cons, split Joy-Con configuration. I wonder if you'll be able to play it just like Wiimote and Nunchuck. I wonder.
I'm kind of thinking that's a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. Because that would be, I know there's not a lot of people that play that way, so maybe they won't, but there is the possibility. It's always there. So the last thing was battlefield stages, and this is where I felt like we need to get to the bottom of this question, because I had this question going into from the moment I heard it at E3. We know we have normal stage, Omega stage, and battlefield stage, and I wanted to know what that meant exactly. And so we've done some research, and I'm hoping that we are correct in what we found. So I'm just going to throw that out there. But, when I asked Crawler...
Information's from the internet, so...
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
It's from the internet. So, but when I asked Crawler, I'm like, what does this mean? And he said, oh, it's... Omega means no plats and Battlefield means 3 plats. And I was like, okay, fine. But what does that mean for the stage itself? Because right now you can play Duck Hunt, Omega stage, and you still have the walls that go all the way down, right?
Yep.
Battlefield, from what we've gathered, is everything. This is from the Smash Bros. Wiki. And this is what they said. Sakurai said, the Battlefield stages will all be identical stages except for music and aesthetics. So that means you're going to get you're going to get what we're assuming is the upside down trapezoid, so it looks just like the battlefield stage plus the 3 platforms.
And I mean, going into this, we were questioning whether or not blast zones and ceilings would be standard or if they would be adhering to how the stage plays in its regular formation. And based on this information from the wiki, we are to assume that they all play presumably the same as regular battlefield in just like the regular battlefield stage that you can select. Everything would just change aesthetics and music, and it would play exactly like that. So blast zones would be same distance, ceiling would be same distance, all that kind of stuff. And the stage would morph to be the same, because we've seen different size inverted trapezoids for the stages. Because we just did a quick check on what like Omega stage trapezoid looked like for the Mario Kart 8 track stage in Wii U, and it's different than what the stage looks like in regular formation, where it's just a flat platform. It does become a small trapezoid. It's not as large as Battlefield's regular trapezoid, but it is a trapezoid, so it has that slope to push you up for those up B recoveries. If you do it at the right spot, it slides you up into that ledge grab. So that's what the main thing we were kind of looking for. Well, so my understanding for this would be like for like a tournament, if you want to select Battlefield, it can be anything, and it can change how tournaments aesthetically look, because it got stale. And I think a lot of people complained about watching Smash competitions was Smashville, Town and City, Battlefield, Lilat, all that kind of stuff. Now it can showcase the artwork that is in this game, which is a ton, and it's all beautiful.
Well, it's what it's going to, and so people that there may be some people that don't know, that don't follow tournaments, that kind of stuff. There was 5 stages that were allowed in competition, and 2 of those stages were Animal Crossing, so they almost looked identical, but one has a lower ceiling than the other. And so when it came to like which stage would get banned, that kind of stuff, you weren't looking at much variety. Now, with all of these different Battlefield configurations, every stage is potentially on the list. Now, that being said, because they don't want it to just be, oh, let's just do Battlefield on every stage, because that itself would also be a little bit boring in time. Now you can look at a stage like Smashville versus Town and City. One has the lower ceiling, so now how many different stages are going to be built like that, where they have the that trapezoid, but their platforms are different? So, well,
and then we also have the option, if ceilings and blast zones aren't broken, but there's a stage hazard that's annoying or potentially harming to competitive play, then the regular formation, if it has interesting platforms, not Delfino Plaza, because that's obviously broken with where the platform sits, but if a hazard is the only thing holding back a stage, now we have the option to run stage hazard off.
Correct.
So that opens up, so it doesn't always have to be Omega or Battlefield. It can be some of those different stage configurations.
So the best case scenario in my mind is that we see something similar to Town and City and Smashville, where you have maps that don't have to be run on Omega. They're just their standard stage configure. We see more stages like that, but then we also can have any of these battlefields. So it gives the potential for massive amounts of stage for competition, which I think is great, because
it's good, but it's also a double-edged sword, because we don't want stage striking to take a majority of tournament play, especially when it's being broadcast.
Yeah, and we don't have this in the notes, but one of the things I saw this last week, if you like to hang out on the ledge, if you try to grab the ledge 5 times in a row, the 5th time you don't grab it, you fall.
Oh, if you're just like melee players when they would just go.
If you just are camping, you will fall on the fifth time. So
Interesting.
you have to, your feet have to touch the stage after the fourth time, or you will just drop. So it's there's a lot of steps they're taking to make this a very interesting game to watch competitively, and I know it's going to take time, but I think as the game matures and we get a good understanding of where blast zones are and things like that. Patrick Murphy says that's half the strategy for Wii Fit trainer mains. So, Leo says, "What about tethered grabs?" Yeah, I yeah, I don't remember what they said about that. I know.
You still snap to the ledge though after your tether pulls you in.
Yeah, I just don't know that you will grab. If you tried to do that like 5 times, I think you'd still drop. I think your feet have to touch the stage, I think is what it said. So, and I can't remember where I saw that, if it was on Reddit or what. I'm trying to spend a lot of time taking in all this information, and sometimes I forget to save the link. But
Well, before we keep moving past this commercial, I know we were talking about controller options, and we didn't get this in our notes yet, but I wanted to touch on it. Something that came out. It was this week that it got announced, right? The 8-bit do. Was that this week that it was announced?
I believe it was. Yep.
So 8-bit do has a new controller option for it's mainly for GameCube. It's stylized off the GameCube colors, and it's called the 8-bit do G Bros wireless adapter, and so it's a large pill shaped device that is, I believe, it's going to run wirelessly, but it does come with a cord. I don't know if we're going to be able to charge it that way. It does. In the description, it does talk about taking 2 AA batteries, but on one side has a port for a GameCube controller, and then on the other side it has the messed up USB. I don't know what style USB it is, but whatever style the game, the Wii Wiimotes and nunchucks and all that kind of stuff, those controllers, so the Wii Pro controllers that plugged into the Wiimotes, and then also the classic controllers, so that come with the SNES Classic and the NES Classic. So there's a port on one side for GameCube and a port on the other for that USB style control for all those different controllers that work off that. And presumably, so this is showcased as being a ideal for tabletop with your Switch, to have your GameCube controller, the one that you already have, utilizing that. So it's something that I pre-ordered this morning, and I'm excited to use that more so in comparison than like what Power A is putting out with a wireless GameCube modeled controller. Because in this instance, you'll get to use the actual GameCube controller that you have and you're comfortable with. This adapter also comes with buttons on it that you're, I think, able to hit home and capture as well, so you can have that option. You're not handcuffed by just using your GameCube controller or the classic controller. So this excites me because you'll be able to use the NES controllers that you have if you want to use that in tabletop without buying the controllers that Nintendo is going to be selling as an option for the classic games or anything else that could I guess function with that. So it's exciting. It also comes with like a strap to like tie up all your extra cord that your GameCube controller has, so you don't have just cord dangling around. So it's a nice feature to have. I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah, I do have a link for it too. It's an Amazon affiliate link if you guys want to check it out. It's just n64josh.com/gbro, so you can go and pre-order it right there, and it's $19.99. So, and I mean, the other option to be able to play with the GameCube controller is you have to use, and we talked about it, you've got to get that little cradle that Nintendo put out, and then you have to get an adapter for USB-C to regular USB, and then plug your GameCube adapter into that, and then plug your GameCube controller into that, just to be able to play tabletop. So,
which would probably be more than $20 to begin with. So
it's $20 just for that stand. So
yeah.
So there you go. But it is another option if you really want to just be able to practice with your GameCube controller all the time. Okay, next up here, Game and Watch was in the news. Little controversy with Game and Watch. His forward smash had a feather, made him look like a Native American, and some people were really up in arms about it. It was kind of interesting to watch the internet like go back and forth on this. But Nintendo has responded and said that is not. I can't remember their exact quote, but something like it is not.
They put out a tweet that it might come across as insensitive, and they apologize for it. And so I don't remember if I was listening to a podcast or if this was just on the internet. But they remastered or ported a lot of Game and Watch games, I think, to Game Boy in the 90s at some point.
Correct.
And the headband and feather were replaced with so it's a Game and Watch game that is a bunch of Game and Watches attacking a fort, I believe, and it was cowboys fighting against the Native Americans in the original Game and Watch. And so that was amended in this re-release on Game Boy, I believe, to have, instead of the Native Americans, it was bandits wearing like a bandana across their face, and they were attacking the fort. So that's presumably maybe what we'll get if they stay true to what they changed in the game originally when they re-released it. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
But it's been addressed by Nintendo.
Yeah, and it is being removed. So I imagine that will probably be in the day one patch, So that happened. Then lastly, for as far as news, the Piranha Plant codes have already started hitting emails. If you have purchased the game digitally, then you should have an email. So make sure to check that spam folder or whatever if you haven't received it yet. I think they sent them out in waves, and I got mine like a few days after I heard they were being released. But I didn't put my code in until Saturday. I didn't put it in right away. So there's that, but the code is already out, so make sure you don't miss it. So with that, let's move on to the Smash blog, and looks like 10-4 is another new fighter. Do you got it open?
11-4, but yes.
My bad, 11-4.
We're not going that far back.
Nope.
All right. Today's fighter is number 60, Ken. Ken joins the battle as Ryu's Echo Fighter. Their differences are carried over from the original game. Ken's Hadouken is shaped differently. His strong Shuriken has flames, and he moves a bit faster. He has 2 final smashes. Shinryuken. I'm bad at the Japanese. Do you want to say it? You got it.
No, I commended the guy that said it on the stream, and it's like
you just say it really fast. You always have to go like this.
Kaiku or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so he's got two different final smashes. One is up close, one's a little bit further away. You guys can read the blog if you want to read the Japanese.
What's funny is the first one is just Shin Ryu Ken. That's all. It's literally it's Shin Ryu Ken.
It's always been that way. It's them like kind of their names have always been in it.
Yeah. So kind of funny, but yeah, really excited.
All right.
Ken's
String Boy or Spring Boy, ready to go.
Not Spring Boy. It's Spring Man. He's an assist trophy. And wait, we didn't put it in the notes because this reminded me. The 5 characters have already been decided for DLC.
That was in a Sakurai interview. I think he mentioned that. Yeah, they've been decided, or Nintendo has approved. I think if I remember reading the article, I think Sakurai had a bunch of ideas, presented them to Nintendo. Nintendo decided on the 5, and now they're working on them, I believe.
Which could mean getting licensing, that kind of stuff. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So, on top of obviously developing them, but licensing's got to be secured first. So we have the Springman Assist Trophy. I mean, if they just do Waluigi, that's lazy licensing, Anyway, Springman jumps and dashes around the stage while using his stretchy arms to punch, just like he does in the ARMS game. In a pinch, he can unleash his powerful rush attack to pummel the opponent. Oh, next up we have music. Where's it from?
You can listen to the Street Fighter 2 Guile stage. Even fans who have heard this song hundreds of times will find new nuances to this fresh version. Arrangement by supervisor Yuzo Koshiro.
Nice. Here we go. Guile stage. Oh my gosh. Crawler, you were not wrong. You're like, oh man, you like.
I had to censor myself right at the beginning because I saw what the music was and I wanted to listen to it because I don't ever get to hear I get to hear bits and pieces through Josh's Discord as he's playing it, so I never get to hear it all. So I had to listen to it beforehand. It was really good.
Oh, so good. Mr. Cool Red Luigi's like, is this always gonna play when Guile appears? I hope so. I hope so. So really, really, really good stuff there as usual. Like, yeah, just awesome stuff. Okay, back to the blog. What do we got next?
So on 11.6 we had spirits talked about. Spirits are characters that have lost their physical forms. Equipping your fighter with spirits will power them up with all sorts of new abilities. Wondering how many kinds of spirits there are? You'll have to see for yourself. And they have in the blog post here, there are a bunch of actually. I didn't realize you could do this. There are 3 different pictures here, and it looks like we see like some Blooper and Knuckles and what's the dude that sells you all the food from the food truck in Splatoon? He's in there. And looks like a Medusa head. And is that an angry Mr. Rossetti up there in the corner? It looks like a very angry Mr. Rossetti.
That does.
You didn't save your game when you left.
Yep, he's mad.
But yeah, KK Slider, bunch of different Pokemans, as Josh would say.
Careful.
Yep. What's the name of your rhino in Donkey Kong? I forget.
No idea.
I forget what his name is, but lots of spirits to find out. But there's 3 different like pictures here to look at. Shy Guy on the 3rd page, Skull Kid.
When look at the cards, each of the cards. I mean, you guys are just listening, I understand, but like there's also slots to add different things. So I have a feeling it's going to be a very, very deep and just kind of a.
Yeah, it's a gotcha game for free inside this game is what it is. So it's a gotcha game that you don't have to pay money for, which is good.
I do want to point something out. Look at the page, look at the second card in. It almost looks like a Bowsette. Do you see that? It's Peach with a black or at least a dark dress. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Down there on the bottom of the second page?
My bad. The second column on the 3rd picture. So again, guys, this is on the Smash Bros blog. But are you seeing that? It looks a little bit like Bowsette to me.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, it's like an evil Peach. She's got the crown on.
She's got something up behind her a little bit too. Yeah, it's
interesting.
I don't know. That might be something out of
It's probably from another game that I'm just not familiar with.
I haven't played a ton of the Paper Mario games. That could be a Paper Mario something.
It probably is, but pretty funny that that's the one that.
Yep. It resembles it a little bit.
Yeah. So okay, next up we have fighter number 40, Olimar, Captain Olimar. I don't even remember how to say his name.
You skipped over an additional spirits.
Oh, I went
talking
too
point here.
far. My bad.
I'll let you take it.
Yeah, more spirit battles from 11.6. Spirit battles have various conditions that may remind you of the character you're battling. If you manage to win one of these matches, you'll get a chance to capture the spirit for yourself. So again, like crazy how much there's going to be to do in this game if you're not like. For us, we're going to turn the game on. We're going to play competitively, like immediately. Like that's, and then we're going to jump into some items matches and play, 4-player, just party mode and have some fun as well. But I have very little desire to play the spirit mode whatsoever. Where are you at with this?
I'm intrigued by it, but yeah, I don't know. Word of, or what's it called? World of Light, or is that what the other single player is called?
World of Light.
I think that intrigues me a little bit more, but even still, like that's not why I play Smash.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so now we have Olimar. I'll let you take it.
Captain Olimar battles by issuing commands to various types of Pikmin under his control. Pikmin come in different colors that correspond to different abilities. Olimar's alternate appearances lets you play as Alf. Right
on. This is interesting. I never saw this coming at all. Yuri Kozuka's assist trophy. Kozukata, sorry, my bad. Yuri Kozukata, assist trophy. The protagonist of Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water game is now an assist trophy. If she gets you with her camera obscura, you'll be paralyzed for a short time, so watch out. So, Fatal Frame is... the series has been around for a while. I'm not positive if we got that game in the States for if we did, it was download only on the Wii U.
And that wasn't it ported to Switch?
Again
on eShop, because I think I remember when Halloween talk was coming around of people wanting to play scary games. I might be wrong, but I don't know.
No ports to the Switch yet, is Kirby saying. Okay. She's saying it was download only for the Wii U. Because I remember kind of wanting to play it, but I was like, I want a physical copy of it. So, and again, we have another spirits update from 11.8. It says there are two kinds of spirits. Primary spirits boost the physical abilities of the fighter you equip them to, while support spirits provide special skills. Try out different combinations to power up your fighters. So again, we see pictures of different characters from many different games and series. Like some of them I don't even recognize.
Oh yeah, I don't recognize some of these. Yeah,
there's so many of them. So
is that a Zelda chest with legs on the second page? Top column, second row.
That's and a halo above it. I don't know. That's bizarre.
And then what's Mario got going on there?
That's from Galaxy. That's when it's one of his suits from Galaxy where he can.
Okay.
He's like a rock. He turns into a rock or whatever. He can roll around and stuff. So.
They are digging deep into video game history, lore, all sorts of stuff with these spirits.
If you go to the next page, you can see it's a physical attack. Rock Mario. So. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I hope there's literally, hours and hours of fun for people with spirits. I think it's great that it's there and that it's so in depth. So, with that, let's move on to our talking points. So, first up, we know that there is going to be paid DLC, 5 characters, $24.99. You can buy the fighter pack, and we know that they're going to be brand new characters, not Echo Fighters. I'm kind of thinking that we may see some free Echoes come out throughout this. The way Nintendo has been supporting games like Aces and Splatoon, I would not be surprised whatsoever if Echo Fighters, because if you think about it, you take Ken and Ryu, there's not that much they have to do to Ken to get him in the game, right? So you take a character like Little Mac, who you could throw in a King Hippo or Piston Honda or Glass Joe even, like some Bald Bull, some of the other boxers that are there. You take Incineroar, and now you've got the potential to put in Zangief from Street Fighter, right? He's a Russian
Wrestler.
wrestler, and they even
Yep.
reference Zangief with Incineroar with like a spin attack or something. I don't have the exact details, but something like that. And so I'm thinking we might see, a handful of free echoes, possibly more costumes, things like that, for characters. I don't know. It'd be great to see, honestly. I would love just to see. This isn't a complaint about the amount of characters, but I think echoes may be an easy way for Nintendo to do some more just free content as the game goes on.
Yeah, and I mean, if we think that the fighter packs are going to take us like a whole year down the road, with the potential of Piranha Plant in February, and then maybe a month off, and then another fighter, and then a month off, and another fighter, that puts us at a year. And maybe those months in between, we get a free echo, possibly. I don't know.
And the other thing I wonder about too is I wonder if we don't see a pack that is trophies turned fighters, where we can see Springman, Waluigi, characters that a lot of people were hoping for might get into the game. Who knows? They've already got the models, right? They've already got the character models. Everything's like, it's just a matter of getting the moveset. And
as long as we get to curb stomp with Waluigi, because isn't that what is he still doing that? Does he come out and just like smash your head with his feet?
I don't even know. I'm not even sure, but
it's kind of vicious.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, the main talking point I want to talk about, and we've kind of touched on this before, but like, I think I saw a tweet from Coney, and I retweeted it talking about like, we're seeing tier videos come out because it's an easy piece of content for creators to do, where they can, they can look at footage and make that list. Now, we don't even know for sure that that's the final build of the game, right? And so what his tweet was like, hey, don't base your main off of these tier lists, right? Still pick, like, we want to see as much variety as possible, so you don't have to go for that top tier character all the time. Like, that's one of the coolest things with Smash is when you see somebody come up and like, all of a sudden Jigglypuff is just dominating, or you see,
or Toon Link took on Bayonetta.
Yeah, or Peach, like, it's really, really cool to see characters that aren't top tier all of a sudden showing up in competitions at, high level and taking higher spots as the game progresses. So, when you're choosing your main, I typically would just start with, who are your favorite characters in the game, right? Who are some of your favorite characters? For me, Mario, Bayonetta, I love Punch Out, so Little Mac. I love Street Fighter, right? So Ryu, Ken, that kind of stuff. That's where I'm going to start. Is I'm going to go with some of my favorite characters. If none of those characters really resonate with me, well then I'm going to just start playing other characters until somebody fits my style, right? I mean, I love the Zelda series, so I played Link. That's who I've used to play in the past. The Star Fox series is great. So I mean, there's such a massive variety here. Like, it doesn't have to be based on who's the best. Like, maybe it needs to be based on who you're going to have the most fun with. And it doesn't mean that you can't play some of those other characters too, right? It's not like you're going to be stuck with one main. Like, I plan on having a handful of characters that I know very well. Right now with Wii U, I mainly just play Mario because I wanted to at least get one character down that I can move into Ultimate with. So, I don't know, when you were choosing your main, what were some of the factors?
Well, I had played for the longest time very casually, and I played Shulk a little bit, but that was also before I had bought any of the DLC. I'd also played a little bit of Falcon. But when the DLC came out, I did want to try them, and Bayonetta was easy to pick up, but I think that's almost true for everybody when it comes to Bayonetta, just because of how she plays.
Mr. Cool Red Luigi says, instead, find the most broken character and spam their broken move.
But when you and I started playing a little bit more, I did. I feel like I did try out more of those DLC characters just because I did have a small amount of time with them. But then also spending time just on the random the question mark button and just letting the game decide what I was trying out. And when I found Corrin, it was just something that I mean I just felt comfortable with, and getting to learn those moves, I felt even more comfortable. I still enjoy trying to jump on random, and I think that can improve your overall gameplay exponentially, just because you can understand how characters move and all that kind of stuff. So it helps you out once you have decided to main. But moving through that process, getting to experience as much as you can, especially go online, and if you get you're with somebody you're comfortable with and you get just destroyed by somebody, that could just be their skill with that character, or it could be an avenue for you to try out that character and maybe see how you play with them. And so sometimes when I get beat by somebody, maybe I'll won't try to take on them with their character, just because you're probably going to get beat pretty bad again, especially if you're learning something. But hop offline, play against a partner, or just hop back into a free-for-all game, or even go back into a one-on-one and just try it out and see how you do. It's all about experimentation in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Just try, play different characters until you have one that clicks. Like Crawler did. You just hit that random button. And like I said, my goal is to put enough time into this game that I can be fairly efficient with many characters. And the reason for that is not just to be good at those characters, but like Crawler was saying, so that you understand how to counter those characters. You understand, I can see in For Glory matches that I play a lot of the similar characters. You see a lot of the same characters. And then this week, and this is going to kind of go into just progress for this week, I ran into somebody playing. It wasn't in For Glory. They joined my chat, and then we ended up playing against each other. But they were Zero Suit Samus, which I hadn't seen a lot. And we had some great matches. Like, they were on a completely different level than me as far as their skill. But I was having a great time learning to play against that character, and you when I saw Corrin come in on For Glory, and I was like, I had, and they were not very skilled.
As I say, I happened to jump into your stream while that was happening, and I was like, ooh, this Corrin doesn't use their neutral air enough at all.
No.
I mean, and you having played me as much as you have, you're aware of the moveset that's available to them, even if they didn't quite understand it all. And you were able to anticipate different things and were able to kind of dissect it a little bit. And I feel the same way when I run into a Mario on For Glory as well, as I understand the different possibilities that are there. But that's also because that is our most common matchup, and we have understood it. And trying to go against somebody that plays a different character can sometimes be very challenging if you don't understand all the possible options for recovery, or for spacing, or for neutral game, all that kind of stuff. It can, once you understand it, you're able to dissect it and potentially find openings.
Here's what I've had happen to me. Maybe you've had the same thing. I will be in For Glory, and I will beat somebody, maybe once, maybe twice, and then they switch to Mario. So they're like, okay, that's it. You've beat me with Mario. Now I'm playing you with Mario. And I love those matchups because I can almost anticipate everything that's going to happen. Right. And then on top of that, I also watch what they do that helps me improve my game. Okay. So this is what I heard multiple times this week while I was streaming Smash. You're mixing things up way more than you ever have. Okay. So in my journey with this game, what has happened is I will learn something, I will overuse that thing, become predictable with it, and then start losing. And then I will learn something else. And I know that some people are watching me going, why are you doing the same thing over and over? Well, I'm trying to get the muscle memory down. I'm trying to get that move down. I know that I'm losing because I'm not mixing it up, but it's helping me to it's just rinse and repeat, right? Last week I was frustrated because I'm like, man, I have all this stuff, but it's not clicking. I took 2 days off this weekend. I didn't play Saturday or Sunday. I had family visiting. I played Diablo. We just hung out.
Diablo took over a little bit.
Yeah, Diablo's taken over my life. But what happened when I came back Monday, it was like everything was fresh, and I had a different mindset going into my games on Monday. And one of the things I've started doing to mix things up, this was like my pattern for percentage, okay, with Mario. 0%, get my grab, get my up tilts, the 1,000-year up tilt.
Which you've tried to get away from.
Somewhat. I've started putting it back in, though, for good reason. So 0%, down throw, up tilt, right? Then a little bit higher, grab, back throw, and then jump for fair, right? That was kind of, and then I played against somebody. They're like, man, you're doing the back throw so often that you're not even doing the down throw and getting your combo to get that percentage up, right? And I was like, oh, good point. Okay. Then I played against some other Marios, and I'm noticing, oh, they're throwing their up smash as part of a combo sometimes. I was never doing that. My smashes were always saved for after the percentages were way were up higher that I could get a kill with them.
But if you can have a true combo that incorporates a smash, then that's just getting you extra percentage.
Exactly. Here's the other thing that's helped a lot with Mario anyway, and maybe it's true for other characters. How often in Smash do you go in for your, you've got your approach, and then you might do a cross-up or you end up behind him, but you're also facing the wrong direction, and you spam your jab and you're punching the other way. You're back to back, right? Nobody's connecting. Well, in that situation now, when that happens, I'm immediately hitting my C stick the opposite direction and throwing that forward smash in the correct direction. If it's usually going to be enough that it's going to land, knock some percent, and push them back, so then I can reevaluate what my next move is going to be. Do I need to be, defensive? Am I going to have to throw a cape at a projectile? What am I going to do?
Yeah, because you're running tilt controls now, right?
No, I still run the same way.
You still have smash stick?
Yep. I still have my smash stick. So
you're turning around and throwing a smash attack then?
I'm not turning around. I'm just hitting the stick, the smash attack, the direction of the opponent. So I don't have to hit the left thumbstick to turn around. The smash automatically turns me around and has me facing the right direction, so that I can initiate that move. It's one of those things that I think will forever be the struggle with Smash, is how to really set your controller up so it's best for your playstyle. I've basically left the only major addition is I added the jump to the Z button for me, so that I can do those jump cancels with the up smash. Leo is saying the fireball approach, thumbs up. Yeah, I've been using fireballs a lot, trying to, get moves set up on that approach, like throwing fireballs that are I'm so close to when I land that if they shield, it's an automatic grab. If they don't, it's also a grab because they're in the animation of getting hit by the fireball. And the other thing I've noticed is, just as I've played against certain characters more and more, I can see, based on I never thought I would say this, but based on the amount of frames of their animation, I know when I can go in and get that grab and when it's not going to be safe, right? And that is something that I'm super hyped about, because that is allowing me to get in between an attack, get a throw, and get a combo started, or at least do a decent amount of percent and then back out. And so it's just made this week a ton of fun.
And you'll be able to kind of dissect that in Ultimate with the training dojo, kind of with how I think it almost has frame by frame breakdowns in that training room. Yeah. So you can kind of see those opportunities when they open up.
But see, and so what I'm talking about specifically too is characters like Cloud. Cloud is one of those characters that I'm seeing that like, oh, I know if this animation is starting, or I know that if I throw this fireball, I can get in here, or if this attack is being thrown, I can get in there in between, you know. This isn't every time. I don't want to sound like this is happening every time. It's not, but I'm starting to pick up on some of these moves or some of these animations that it's like I can punish that at this second. Like if I'm late, I'm going to get punished for it for moving in, and if I'm early, I'm going to get punished for moving in. So, but and all of this is just happening from playing consistently and playing regularly. And Jay Harley says we can be community punching bags. No, the point is that we all continue to progress together. That's really what the point of this is. I'm having so much fun. Do you know how many matches I lose against people in the community? I am a punching bag. And it's making me better. Like, yep. It's absolutely making me better. I love the matches against, you know, Leo and PK Ramy and Gabe and, you know, and Crawler, everybody. Like, I'm loving these matches that I'm getting destroyed in because it's helping me learn. Leo's saying it's definitely more. He said, what did he say? It's definitely more frequent though. Don't count yourself out. Our matches were definitely getting closer because of it. Right. The longer I play against the same opponent, I'm starting to see patterns. Right. I'm starting to see like what they're doing, what I can expect, how I can anticipate. The moment you start anticipating your opponent's moves, that's when you're winning the match. And it also becomes,
because if you can be there with a smash attack when they come down, then
or even, you know, even like with Leo, there's times that like if his boomerang's out, his next thing's going to be an arrow. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. So I'll throw a cape knowing that that arrow will go flying back, and then when that arrow hits, if I'm dashing in there, I can immediately get a grab and start chaining something together. So and even watching the way they return to the stage and things like that, like once you can really start anticipating stuff, which is why you want to mix it up and play against other opponents and stuff too, because you don't want to just get in the rut, like, but you start seeing I've seen other Toon Links that do the same thing. It's like a barrage of projectiles. And so, you know, it's like, oh, maybe everybody watched the same video that says do this and this, and then you know how you're going to be able to counter it. So, but a lot of it's just going to be putting that time in and be prepared to be the punching bag, because it's how you're going to get better, and just fight through the frustration, you know, because there's times that you want to win. But and then like Mr. Cool Red Luigi's like, that's why I've tried to be random, and I'm like, no, I need you to play your main. Like I need to have you at your best, because that's what I want to practice with, you know. So I don't know. How about for you this week? Anything jump out for you in your games?
So I mean, I did a few you and I played just a few matches, I think, on Wednesday night. I played a few with Super Nintendo last night. I hopped in For Glory before we did the show here for a little bit. I'm just still working on that neutral game, and I feel like I've been mixing stuff up a little bit. So I've been seeing progress, but Diablo consumed my life this week a little bit, so I haven't played as much as I was hoping to. But we'll need to get back to it, especially with only 4 weeks to go. Got to get back in it.
Got to get back into it. So, yeah, exciting stuff, guys. We're gonna be. We're so close. We're so close to Ultimate. I can taste it, man. So, all right. Well, with that, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in Josh's Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Remember to stay tuned there for more details about the Smash tournament. And then also on Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawler without the E. Same with Twitch, but I think my laptop doesn't like me anymore, and I need to get a new computer for streaming. So you can follow me on Twitch, but I might not be streaming as much as I would hope. Gotcha.
Okay. Guys, the music you're hearing right now is the Metal Melee theme. You can check that out at n64josh.com/Metal Melee. audibletrial.com/SBC is where you can get yourself a free book from Audible and help support this show. Don't forget, on top of getting your free book. There's also Audible Originals, and you can get 2 of those each month with your subscription as well. So audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. Go to n64josh.com/OPC to automatically save $10 at checkout. And I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/n64josh. For just $1, you get an extra podcast each month. And yeah, there you go. So you can check that out as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Farmers Only, all of it's N64Josh. This show is available on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube, so if you want to watch the video after the fact, you can. We also do it live on twitch.tv/N64Josh at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so come hang out. If you got a second to rate and review on iTunes, we would greatly appreciate it. And the best thing you can do for us, if you want to, is share this show with your friends. So take a screenshot of your screen while you're listening, post it in your favorite Discord, Reddit, whatever, and you can help us out, help us spread the word. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later.